And we're live. Dun dun dun, welcome back everybody.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
So, as I mentioned earlier, this is episode 1 of a new chapter for the world of Cairne. A long time coming, this one. They've been in dark places for a long time.
We were deep down under the earth, and now we're deep down under the ocean.
Yeah, again.
Again!
The one place no one in Cairn should ever be, hey Cranky, under the water. And you guys went back for seconds.
It is even more lethal than in real life, where it is pretty lethal.
Well, it's like swimming on the beaches in the Gulf Coast, really.
Oof.
For those
Maybe
of you,
right after the Gulf Horizon oil spill, or Deepwater Horizon oil spill, but...
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I live on the Gulf Coast, so I'm making fun of my home. I'm allowed. Those of you at home. I do want to give a very quick shout out to our host and sponsor, Skull Splitter Dice, the most metal dice in the universe. Holy crit, get you some, buy me some, buy your friend some, buy your date some, your wife some, your husband some, and believe me, without any shadow of a doubt, it will make everything better. As long as you're not in a sub made by ignorant millionaires. Go Cranky. So, anybody want to catch us up? Give us a quick recap? You're welcome to.
We had a lovely time. We began our last session deciding definitively that we did not want to tangle with the divine instrument of the gods who had a big grudge against us and could just kind of throw around Feeble Mind, a spell that literally no longer exists in Cairn. Therefore, the normal way of curing Feeble Mind no longer exists in Cairn, and we had to conduct psychic surgery.
That was exciting.
It was very exciting, but we didn't want to do it twice. I think once was enough. So we opened up our senses, we began to examine the warp and the weave of the spiritual realm, and followed some suspicious vibrations, suspicious music-like vibrations, to what appeared to be yet another doorway in the side of a cliff. As is usually the case, going through doorways is a bit of a heavy commitment here in the spirit realm. We dillied, we dallied. Listener and Az had a brief conversation as to our responsibilities and how much we were about to die. But eventually we all stepped through. We were treated, for once, to a beautiful sight and not our impending demise. Church, feel free to show the audience at home what we were looking at.
I believe I have a picture here. Let's see. Yeah, I do. Here, I'll get the middle one.
There you go.
There
So,
you go.
we arrived at the edges, the outskirts of an enormous crowd, an audience of souls, mostly dead, some few living, taking in a performance, the grand performance, a beautiful symphony swelling around us. At its center, a vast crystal, hovering over the premises, seemingly generating the music we heard. I'm not sure any of us actually recognized it apart from Saoirse because this is tied into Shawnekeesian lore. But What was this called? Was this the Eternal Symphony?
Ethereal.
Ethereal Symphony, thank you. But this information duly shared, we were witnessing a vast gathering of souls. It wasn't really clear at the moment whether we were still in the realm of the dead, if we were in some transitional state. Was this happening right now? Were we seeing a moment that had long passed? But as we progressed in towards the center, more and more seemed to become clear to us. We met the many souls of the dead from our lives, people long since thought lost, who seem to have been keeping up with us. In fact, our party seems to have become somewhat known here in the realms of the dead, or at the very least, somebody was going around letting the patrons know we were going to stop in. But each of us met and had a lovely emotional moment with the people we had left behind, in one way or another. But in time, we made our way down to the center. Our lovely Saoirse possessed the key, seems a little uncouth. The correct instrument to accompany the crystal had the, I believe it's a celestial resonator?
Harmonium.
Was it the harmonium? I thought you had a second thing.
Yeah, the resonator is the crystal flute. The harmonium is the fancy stringed instrument.
Yeah, I thought you played the resonator for us to go through.
I played the harmonium.
Oh, okay, so Saoirse is loaded down with mythic quality magical instruments. To the extent that there are literally 2 that are related to this. She played one of them. And we proceeded upon a goddamn journey. One that reconstituted us, body and soul, in the material world. Our ailments healed, our psyches rested, content, and fully integrated. We awoke back in the real world to the smell of stone and salt water.
Salt water's always a good smell.
It's usually accompanied by the blight here in Cairne. I don't know exactly how blighted this one smelled.
It was definitely soured, for lack of a better term.
But that brings us up. As far as we know, we have reached the domes of the Shining Eyes.
This is true. And I've got a little placeholder up there of you guys standing all epic and whatnot from our last group shot that I did, I think. Just temporarily, to have something there. So when we did leave off, you guys stepped through and were whisked through reality, through life and death and time immemorial and whatnot, and eventually stopped. And like you said, it was pitch black. You smelled the foul stench of soured salt water and old corroded metals and wet stone, old decay. And that is where we'll pick up. You guys are in the dark. Complete dark. Still reeling a little bit from your experience. Disoriented, obviously, as you would be given that type of transitional period. Tell me what you would like to do to begin with.
Hold on my knees and retch a little bit.
That's a fair thing to do. Completely fair. So yeah, the sound of your retching echoes in a unnerving way. Just you hear it slapping back and the sound reverberating outward until it gets so small that it dissipates completely.
I draw the sunstone out of my pack and hoist it to view the surroundings.
I go for a second round.
More retching?
So, the sunstone?
Yes, has a good visibility radius.
The sunstone is dark.
I hold it in my hand and I think, That is a pity, but it has seen me through a difficult time.
Yeah, it is dark. You're not
So
really...
you're just going.
Go ahead.
So you're just going to try holding up the phosphor stone.
The phosphor stone is dark.
Well, I don't really look at things in the normal fashion. I don't think we've ruled that I have dark vision exactly, but darkness doesn't really impede my senses.
It's closer to blind sight, I think we
Yeah.
call it. You get a sense of your surroundings to a point. It's uneven, broken terrain, walls at strange angles. You do sense like some actually constructed passageways and platforms around you. You also get the sense that there's a lot of water in this area. You can hear it even, like sloshing and dripping, and even in a couple places trickling and lightly pouring. You're not sensing any movement beyond that, though.
Through the osmotic membranes in my feet, I assess the quality of the water.
Oh, it is foul, tepid, hypertoxic ocean water.
We certainly should not stand in this.
I will say where you're at right now, it's just damp. It's not enough to hurt. It's damp. But there's so much humidity in the air that it's to be expected.
Yeah. It could have been worse. Could have been fully underwater when we came around.
That would have been
Wait.
nasty.
Wait, we're out. I can sense spiritual energy. I can tell we're back in the real world, right?
Yeah.
We're on the physical plane of Cairne.
Yeah, it feels very, very solid.
Are we in the domes now?
I do not know. But we're back. We've made it after some trial. I'm so relieved I did not get all of you killed.
Everybody make it?
I take inventory real fast.
Alright.
Everybody here?
Yeah, everybody's here. I could be mean and be like, no!
No.
Genesis and Uki are missing.
Yes. Yes, everyone is here, Az.
Az, are you speaking verbally?
Yeah.
Okay. Once again, the sound reverberates uncomfortably. It's like being in a huge auditorium by yourself in the dark and listening to your
Echo.
Yeah.
I did it. Echo.
Echo. But
Hey.
as you're speaking, from somewhere in the dark, you hear a voice growl out at you. Ne bouge pas, soleil.
No, I don't speak that.
Does anyone
What?
speak Dwarven?
Uki?
Alright. Well, Uki will say, for whoever's controlling her tonight. Uki picks up immediately that it's an old Dwarven dialect, one that sounds off, like very old. And somebody just said, "Don't move, sunshine."
Who wants to run Uki?
Any takers?
It would normally, I think normally it's Master Miss runs Uki, but we're short of Master Miss also.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Ghinkgo too also runs her.
Yeah, but only when it's like shooting time.
well, we'll say that she relays the information, and we'll let you guys carry it.
If nobody else wants to, I can drive Uki for a minute. Just so we have somebody who speaks Dwarven playing.
I'm okay with it.
And you also know how to play fires.
Fair enough. So Uki, hands not on the guns, but not raised or anything, because Uki is a bit combative at the best of times. Says, "You have us at an advantage. Your eyes must be a bit sharper than ours."
You could get no answer.
Church,
Yes.
I would like to, using one of my sets of plants, my supplies, give myself dark vision.
Okay. Yeah. And is this an imbibing?
Yeah, it's one.
Okay. All right. So your eyes begin to shift and change under the effects of the drug that you imbibe. As you kick back, what is it, an elixir or a flask or something, I assume?
I think it's like a compound I put over the eyes.
Okay.
I
Well,
always thought of it.
as you reach up to do that, like you take the mixture out, get ready, and kind of start rubbing it on your eyes. What's your AC?
13.
13, yeah. You feel the wind just get knocked out of you as something strikes you right in the solar plexus that feels like a hammer. You take 4 points of subdual damage. And kind of double over, the breath knocked out of you. And as you look up and your eyes begin to adjust in the darkness, you see this kind of very low-set pair of beady eyes in the darkness, kind of looking at you, glaring at you, but can't really make out anything else.
Oh, dark vision works here.
Well, yes and no.
Uki continues to talk. We'd appreciate it if you held your fire. We've come a long way to get here, and we got a bit turned around as we arrived. I'm Uki Tulugak, warrior of Stonebridge. Come here with the blessing of my people on an important quest. Who are you?
Once again, you're met with silence.
Uki said that in Dwarven, right?
Yeah, that was in Dwarven.
Yeah.
We received the authorization of, I've forgotten the name of the current ruler of Underhome.
Jorgen.
No, Underhome.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
Church, what is the name of the current king of Underhome?
Oh, jeez, you're gonna make me look it up.
We're all struggling here.
Oh my god, I should know.
We
this.
met him once and he didn't like us.
But he didn't like anybody. To be fair,
Yeah.
it wasn't just you. World Anvil's going kind of slow, so we'll just say you said the name for now.
Yes.
I will pull it up and we'll.
I say. Are you one of his? Or have you been here? We made where we think we were going. We are a long, long way from everything.
So once again in Dwarven, you hear that same voice from a different location. Somehow this person, thing, whatever it is, has managed to silently reposition themselves without notice.
Mm-hmm.
And the voice issues out somewhere from behind you. It says very slowly, take all of your implements of death, place them on the ground at your feet.
Not speaking, just trying to remember. Uki doesn't have any dark vision. Hyperstedians don't get dark vision or anything.
No, I think Az might be the only one.
Is he in sense range for listener?
Kind of. It's weird how you're picking up on him. Like you know where he is when he speaks, but every time he speaks, the location has changed, and you can't pick up on the movement.
I'm gonna take a gamble. The only people whose implements of death actually matter to their deadliness are Uki, and that's basically it. I mean, who else is even armed?
Well, I think everybody's armed, technically.
Technically.
I don't know what you're talking about. Show them my palms. I got nothing, man. Look,
Yeah.
I'm standing here in a loincloth, my dude. I got nothing.
That's fair.
So, I think Uki actually keeps pitch like rolled up in the bag or something.
On the back, yeah.
Yeah. So, pistols and rifle set on an oilcloth so they don't get damp.
Okay.
And listener, he's got the crackstone longsword, but he's just like, I'm a plant man. Come on. He sets it down.
Okay.
I think Saoirse technically has a dagger and rapier in her inventory, but like she doesn't use this shit like ever at all. So like, I don't know if it'd be fair to say if she actually has it in her inventory, even though I have it on her sheet. But just say like whatever weapons Saoirse has, she puts them down, except for her instruments because they're not really weapons. Not technically, anyways.
Okay.
Not that anyone would recognize.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Genesis, what about you? Are you complying? Welcome, by the way.
Hi, sorry.
You're good.
I am not well.
Our
so-
apologies.
It's okay. Real life.
Our
first.
sympathies, rather. It's not our fault, but we feel bad for you.
So I've been suggested that I drop my weapons. Is what's what I'm hearing?
Yes, by a voice in the dark.
It was suggested that you throw down your implements of death. How you choose to interpret that is kind of vague.
Yeah. The voice is speaking Dwarven and hasn't attempted to murder us yet, but also is very difficult to pin down.
Weird. Okay. I don't speak Dwarven. Is someone interpreting? I just know what that means.
Uki is interpreting for everyone right now.
Okay. And Uki is also complying with this?
Uki has set her guns on the ground. The logic there for me playing Uki at the moment is Uki knows that a lot of the party is perfectly deadly without any weapons.
Yeah, and this is why it's so particularly confusing for Genesis, because she can just snap a neck. Like,
Yeah, a normal person's not going to know that though.
instruments of death. Okay, eye roll. Well, I just set down my short bow.
Okay.
I do it, but I do it in that way where you're like, bitch.
It's like taking your shoes off at the TSA. It's just like, really? Come on.
It's like you're pantomiming, like, oh gosh, what do I do without my short bow? Hello? I'll just kill you.
Yeah.
With a thought.
What am I gonna set my brain down?
Get on with your bad self, Paul Atreides.
Genesis is just like this is so stupid. And their expression just like set the short bow down. Oh, danger. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. So everybody complies, I'm assuming, more or less. Puts their visible weapons down. Visible. Alright.
Yeah, I don't have
Yeah, I think so.
So as you comply, and the last thing is laid down, you hear this clack, clack on the stone, and this soft green bioluminescence flares up all around you, illuminating the chamber. And it's not blinding, it's actually very soft, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very soft lighting. Kind of a blue-green. It's strange that it flared up on command, is what it seems like. But as your eyes adjust and you look around, you see, first off, this sprawling network all around you of half-submerged platforms and sealed airlocks and various pressurized chambers that you can see through these glass panels and tubes, many of which are spiderwebbed, shattered and in place and leaking and dripping all over the place. But they're all interconnected by these narrow, kind of winding crystalline tunnels. And each room, including the chamber you're in now, you can see, has this huge crystalline windows that look out into the poisoned ocean beyond. And just in the very faint light that spills out, you can see that dark, shrouded depths out there with things moving just beyond your sight line. Standing along the platforms are 36 dwarves, various stages of salt and pepper and white hair, long, unkept beards. All of them are painted solid black.
And it's so nice that we didn't go to combat on this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all painted solid black, and they're carrying like old implements, old weaponry. I'm talking like battle axes, mauls, and hammers, maces, and that type of thing. But they're all wearing ragged leather piecemeal armor, and all of it is stained black. Their weapons are stained black. Their skin is stained black. All of it. And they're at the ready. Like, they're ready to just pounce on you at a moment's notice. I'm gonna give you a chance to react if you want to.
Continuing to not threaten them. They seem a little jumpy.
Okay. Anyone else?
Saoirse will kind of like tilt her head, raise her eyebrow for a second. Like, she knows that these are clearly like, living dwarves and like not void creatures. So she will very slowly give a very courteous curtsy.
Okay. What about you, Az? You want to throw a weapon at him, or?
What? No. No. I have some training in diplomacy, and you said that coming back to life, like, reshuffled my temporal dementia. Like, the slideshow that is my life, or was my life, so far is now in order again.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just picking on you more than anything.
I have some minor level of diplomacy. like in my background, like, no, I'll just sit here quietly.
So as
Stoically quiet.
speaking of you,
Mhm.
old man,
I don't have their language, so
can you give me a history check?
sure. I'm okay at those.
Let's give you advantage because you're old. There we go.
History you may be personally familiar with.
So, the dwarf kind of eyes each of you very carefully. And you see him kind of lift one hand up near his eye and then move it to point out at all of you. And as you recognize the gesture as the dwarf basically diplomatically saying, I recognize you as not a threat.
I know that gesture.
It doesn't mean kill them all, right?
I'll repeat the little hand raise gesture, like, I'm not a threat. You're not a threat either. We can be friends, right?
Yeah. It's a very old diplomatic measure that the old kingdom of Underhome, prior to the Blight, used to give when meeting strangers in a tense situation to try and determine if they were friend or foe. So you giving it back, you can see them kind of visibly relax a little bit. They're still on edge, but like the weapons aren't pointed at you guys now.
I guess if Az is giving us this information, then Saoirse will do it back as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Of what it means, because, yeah.
Uki says, apologies for surprising you. We didn't exactly mean to make our entrance here.
Did you bring food?
Some, if you have great need of it. It's not the tastiest, but it's food.
I'll take it.
Let's have a conversation before we get to negotiations like that.
Oh, there's no time. There's no time. There's no time.
Now, Uki's very military in her bearing. She should be able to recognize how people are acting one way or another. They're organized, obviously. They're kitted, like a military outfit might be, but how is their bearing? Are these people disciplined, or are they kind of not that right now?
There's a discipline to them. Like, you know, the way that they surrounded you guys and managed to not only use the darkness, but use camouflage to disguise themselves from your dark vision. Which is why Az couldn't pick them out. That's why they're all painted black. That's why Wilhelm could really only see the eyes in the darkness. So there is some degree of very intense, like, stealth training and organization amongst them. Something does seem a little off about his attitude. It's like, as you converse with him, you notice that he won't make eye contact with you. His eyes kind of flit back and forth, but never land in one spot for very long. And he seems to kind of chuckle nervously a lot. The others are immediately like, it's almost like they're all kind of going in unison back into another one of the chambers in the back. And he's sitting there kind of watching you guys closely. He says, oh, there's no time. Just leave your food here, and then you should go. You should go. You can't be here.
We've come a very long way to be here, if this is the domes. Have we made it?
Yes. But as much as I hate to be the bearer of bad news, fate is sealed. All of you will never, never, never see your beloved sunshine again. Now, leave your food. I must go back to work on the submarine so that we can leave. But you go, go see sights, go raid and plunder our treasures. Go, yes. Leave the food. You can have all of it.
We will leave you some food. Gesture of goodwill, but tell me, did we come at a bad time?
Not at all. In fact, I'm sure if you make your way to the plaza, you can witness the dancing lights, have a little tumble amongst the stone seating, and maybe find even some great drink, companionship and friends.
Maybe we will have a quick look around.
Yes, just leave the food.
She has a quick mental conversation with Listener, who has a lot of rations that he doesn't need.
Okay.
And he begins to haul them out and stack them.
Okay.
Gesture of goodwill.
So, without even needing to roll, like, his eyes light up, and he immediately begins, like, scrambling and, like, scooping it up into his cloak. And looking around, like he might bite your hand if you reach for it.
That dude is starving. There ain't shit down here. So, Listener comes off of 5 rations.
Okay.
And Uki picks back up her guns and puts them back where they go. Now that everybody else is filed out of the room.
Yeah. And unless anybody stops him, he will take the food and follow his companions into the other chamber.
I don't stop him.
Alright. So if nobody stops him, then yeah, he takes the food, he goes into the next chamber, and you hear this grinding shudder as the hatch slams behind him, and then clunk, clunk, locks. And
Well, that was a bit strange.
You're once again in the silence.
I feel like they've been down here for a while.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure it's fine.
Do you think we've arrived just as the entire thing is about to collapse?
I don't know. He did have a very nervous manner about them. That the whole thing was about to collapse, and why were they so concerned with food?
I think they were anticipating a long submarine voyage.
Submarine. So what you're saying is there's a way out of here.
Yes. I wonder if they have an Orti too.
So, if you want to, you may make a perception roll.
I love perception rolls. I do them all the time.
Only if you want to, as usual.
Jeez.
Wow. Some decent rolls there. Alright. So
You're on it.
Saoirse and Listener, you can interpret this sensation in the most plant-like manner possible. Let's see if Jen says nope. Okay. Yeah, just the two of you. You guys both feel this kind of cold chill go down your spine, and like the hair on the back of your neck stand up. You get this intense feeling like you're being watched by something you wish had never laid eyes on you.
Listener settles a little bit.
I feel like we're being watched.
There is something
Of course we are.
in the darkness.
So right about this time, you hear this scratching sound on the window behind you. The big window that looks out into the ocean.
Nope. Nope.
So what might happen to be over there?
Nope. Nope. If it's outside the window, it can't hurt us. Nope. I'm not even gonna look. We're not even looking at it. That's a bad
Saoirse
idea.
will jump and, like, not literally jump, but you know that sort of jump you do whenever you're jump scared.
Yeah.
Tense up, and she is not turning around.
Listener absolutely turns around.
All right. So, are you looking with your psychic senses?
If they're necessary. I'm not reaching out and trying to make contact or anything.
Well, I say because this is on the outside of the glass, so your blind sense would be a little. You'd struggle a little more. There's something there.
Yeah, I will reach out to sense then. I will project. Uki will turn and just like look with eyes.
Okay. So, Uki, we'll do Uki first.
Sure.
Uki turns around and you guys see her eyes kind of go wide, and she takes a step back and kind of fumbles with her gun, just instinctively.
Mhm.
And as you reach out, you're immediately caught with this like chorus of slapback psychic energy.
Schmack.
There's a familiar creature outside there.
Oh no, it's Sticky Bones.
No.
No? Alright, that's fine.
I'm not that mean, no.
That would have been so funny. Alright, what's that thing?
You're a little deep for him, I think. No, this is... It's something you've encountered before, and you kind of... It takes a minute, because it gives you the equivalent of a headache. You remember that strange, enormous, octopodal type creature that you met?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's out there.
There's one out there, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is a species. Listener turns pointedly away from the window. Try not to focus too hard on it. I suspect even if you do not speak the way I speak, it could probably still reach your mind.
I'm sure it's fine.
Perhaps we should walk elsewhere.
I want to try and open that door that the dwarfs went through.
It is locked from the other side.
Oh, it doesn't have like a handle that I can turn?
No.
I'll bang on it then.
Dum, dum, dum.
The assholes let me in.
You get no answer.
I'll try it again.
As I
Yeah,
think that's
be more
just where they
persuasive.
keep their submarine.
So, I will say, as you're banging, like the sound is reverberating out once again.
What? Then... Where else is the out?
Where are you going?
Well, we don't need out yet.
I'm so confused. Okay, I'm just gonna go sit over here.
What other exits from this space do we have, Church? Looking
well,
around.
Like I said, there's the winding crystalline tunnels that kind of stretch out and go everywhere from here. There's 3 other exits. Direction you're messed up on right now. There's nothing for you to use to gauge. So we're just gonna say there's right, left, and center.
Doesn't Listener have like the dungeon delver, or am I thinking of someone else?
Listener has some skills in this sense. One sec.
Mhm.
But they do not give me the ability to know directions underground. That's the dwarf one. I can perceive secret doors, though.
Yeah,
Sorry.
And traps.
it's all right. No harm in checking.
So if we have any of those around, keep in mind I'm very good at those.
Might be a good idea to assess the condition of the tunnels as well.
Nah, just ignore those. I'm sure those are just fine.
Should we simply strike out? I'm sure there's something here that will attempt to kill us, but for the moment, we could have a look around.
I think I've learned a valuable lesson before. Structural integrity is Uki's domain.
Uki will make an assessment. She taps the side of her head, points at Genesis, says, "It's good thinking."
So I will say Uki's a little bit out of her league with this. She's good with stonework. But what you're looking at is crystalline tunnels that they haven't been carved, they were shaped with very powerful magic. Magic that, as far as you know, doesn't exist anymore.
Is it one contiguous mass, or is there some, like, shattered lying around?
Yeah, if you're looking for a piece, you could find a piece.
Right. Uki will pick up a piece and try and assess its strengths, like flex it in her hand, see if it flexes at all or if it's perfectly rigid.
It does not flex. It is hard as stone.
Okay. She looks around. Some of it's been broken. She looks for signs of what may have broken it, but collapsing rubble from above, or does any of it seem to have just fallen in naturally?
Probably bits of both. There's most likely been some seismic activity over the last 200 years or so.
Yeah.
That has caused a lot of damage.
Okay. She says to the party, "It's very strong, but the ground here isn't very stable and the ceiling might not be either. We're probably safe, assuming no earthquakes decide to occur. But watch your footing, especially. It's very likely that some places here are just waiting to fall over. Try not to touch the walls."
And as Uki's words reverberate out quietly into the distance and fade away, the blue-green luminescence begins to slowly fade to darkness.
Well, we should probably get to stepping, shouldn't we?
Wait a second.
I clang my foot on the ground.
Was the luminescence coming from the crystal?
No, it's a fungus and algae that seems to be growing all over the non-glass surfaces.
Interesting.
Maybe that was like sound reactive.
Yeah.
So like I clang something on the ground real hard. Clang, clang.
It reverberates out into the darkness.
It might have been a specific pitch, or maybe a specific place you have to strike. Where was he standing when he did that, Az?
I don't know. Your eyes are better than mine.
Wilhelm,
I was hoping you could see him a little better.
Wilhelm's relative idolic. I'm gonna come up with all kinds of.
We're gonna
different
keep making stuff up.
words. Idolic memory. He'll know exactly where he was standing.
There. There.
Right
Right
there.
over there.
Right there. His left foot was right there. His right foot was right there. He positioned in such a way when the light went on.
I'll go stand over there and try it. Clang, clang.
Same thing.
Hmm.
And as that happens, like the darkness is almost completely overcome.
Yeah. What was
Can
he
I-
clanging with? Did he have something in his hands?
He's carrying a spear. Some kind of makeshift spear, by the look of it.
Check the ground.
Okay. What are you looking for? Anything particular?
I'll say listener takes up that directive. He's looking for things hidden in the ground, perhaps a particular spot that seems to be connected to something else, or perhaps has been worn in by being struck repeatedly to set off the lights.
Okay. Give me a investigation roll.
All right. And if listener's doing it, he should have advantage.
Mm-hmm.
There you are, sir.
You find nothing like that.
After his investigation, listener reports back. No unusual wear. Nothing embedded.
Can I?
If he has a trick, it was not based on where he stood.
What are you saying, Wilhelm?
Oh. Yeah, I'd like to investigate that area, but I'm looking for chemical residue. Like if there was something that would have caused a reaction with the fungi.
Okay. Well, you're doing it in the dark now. Keep that in mind.
Well, while he was looking at that, I'd also wanted to do the same. Like,
Okay. No.
well, he's looking for. Oh, yeah.
I'll let that go. That's a good roll too.
Yes.
So.
That's a very good one.
The only thing you managed to find before the lights fade is that there are scuffs and stains of the whatever they're using to blacken their skin with for camouflage. But nothing that seems directly tied to the bioluminescence.
The listener to Wilhelm. Quite a trick. I'm not certain we'll be able to replicate it. Magic, do you think?
It's possible.
Didn't exactly seem the type. But who's to say?
Would magic react like this, though?
Let me check. Let me say, listener's gonna do some Arcanist stuff. He hasn't done some Arcanist stuff in a minute.
Okay. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna check for receptivity, I guess, because the new method of the Arcanist, right, is to reroute energy existing in the environment.
Yeah.
You take some source, you channel it into an effect.
Exactly.
That is related.
So you have the ability to find.
Yes, I can find power sources.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm gonna see if there's anything that he may have tapped, and I would like to see if I can, like, detect in the fungus. I'm a plant and an Arcanist here, so this should be within the realm of reason that I can detect if this is a frequent recipient of arcane energy.
Sure. Let's get your power roll or your ability roll.
I will give you one.
Your Aki roll.
It is a 14 this time.
14. There is definitely a lot of trace residual arcane energy in the area. You're having a hard time tying it directly, like as far as finding the root, but there's enough that you suspect that it was an arcane trick.
Well, I've got some power sources left over of my own. Can I try and just do a little channeling myself?
Sure. Are you trying to replicate?
Yeah, I'd like to see if I'm gonna see how well it responds, basically, if I just juice it a little bit to see if I can get some light out of the fungus with arcane power.
What are you drawing from? Are you looking for a source here, or are you drawing from one of your items?
I'll take one of my items. I've still got some juice in the needle.
Okay.
And I've used that in the past to produce light effects, although we were in the realm of the dead. I'll try that.
Alright. Let's get another roll going.
22.
Solid. So yeah, you feel that kind of seductive rush as the energy flows from the item through you. It's a slight blissful, euphoric sense as it channels through and out, and you can feel it make the connection with the algae that lie around you in about a that's a good roll. We're gonna say about a 20-foot radius. All of the algae softly lights up in response.
I'm sure that's what running feels like if you have muscles.
The Olim have no word for running.
Yes, we do not do this. My people do not do this.
But yeah, so the area does light up in about a 20-foot radius around you.
Oh my. Must have tapped quite a power source to light the whole room. I felt like that was a pretty good kick I gave it.
You get the sense that it's not taking a lot of juice to maintain this.
Yes, but the area of effect that he had going.
Yeah, no, it was powerful.
Still impressed.
Whatever he pulled was powerful.
But this may be enough for us to proceed, though we will have limited warning if something decides to come at us from a distance.
But at least you can see where you're going. So now you once again have your option of... I'd say there's 5 available options right now. You've got left, right, and center tunnels. You can try to force your way through the other door that they went through. Or you could smash out the window and attack the creature outside.
Lamau, no.
You forgot the intermediate step, where the ocean of Cairn floods in to meet us.
You'll be fine.
Now,
No, it's fine. I'm sure I can hold it back.
briefly.
Poor
Briefly.
ass. Poor ass. I'm a great swimmer. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I mean, I can heal some people or block some water, but
Uki performs a quick assessment of the entrances left, right, and center. Which one looks like it has the least visible detritus?
Okay.
Like the lesser of the 3 evils in terms of damage dealt over the centuries.
Hey, give me just one investigation roll. We'll just do one.
You got it. There you go.
15. Okay. She's struggling to determine if any of them look particularly dangerous at all. There is some damage. There's some spider web like cracking along a lot of the surfaces. They're all leaking slightly, but it's more of a beads of water dripping down and then running at whatever angle the floor happens to be going. I will say, based on her roll, the middle one, there does appear to be a pile of something just beyond the light range, laying in the middle of it.
Listener, come up here a bit closer. You don't want to get the light on that. So she proceeds just far enough to examine it,
Okay.
moving carefully, half speed.
Give me another investigation, please.
There you go.
It appears to be dwarven remains.
How old?
Hard to tell at a distance, and it is very covered up.
Okay. Visible cause of death? A lot of blood around, maybe?
Yeah, there's a lot.
Okay, she turns around and comes back out. Well, the middle way is unlucky, so we're going left or right.
Start left.
Off we go.
Okay. So you begin trekking down the left passageway?
Yes.
Everyone in tow.
Yeah.
Remember, don't bump the walls.
Yes.
Ooh, I love big rolls.
Ooh, numbers.
So, you begin down the left tunnel, and it winds down a little bit, and kind of turns to the left, and then arcs out. And as you're walking, like you can look out on either side, and you can see like it's ocean all around you. And all three of them do the same. Like you can look out and see the others through the murk of the water very faintly. As you get out kind of past the central chamber, though, there's a lot less of the algae. So the light dims significantly. You're still lighting every bit of it you can find, because it's basically an aura around you that if it hits, it lights. However, say you get about 50 feet through, and you see this large looming shadow shape just brush over the top of the tunnel you're in. Large tentacles kind of moving behind it as it flows past.
Instinctively, listener allows the light radius to diminish so as not to draw attention.
Anybody else doing anything?
Comes to a standstill.
I think as I'm watching listener stand still, I'm like, okay, something's going on. So I guess I'll kind of pause too and try to be as quiet as possible. Like, what's going on?
Would you like to reach out with your abilities?
No.
Yeah, no. Oh my god.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea.
No, it's a great idea.
It's a fantastic idea. Listener speaks quickly to the party. Be still a moment and try not to think too hard.
I don't understand.
That's a tall order for this one.
The creature out in the deeps. It is a powerful psychic.
Okay.
Or at the very least, it has powerful psychic energies. I don't know if it can direct them as easily as you or I, Genesis.
So are you attempting to... Is everyone attempting to quiet your minds and hide from this thing? Is that what's happening?
As well, listeners doing and suggesting. Whether the party does this is their own decision.
So you're just going to try to.
Alright. So, listener, I'm not going to make you roll because this is your speech. You're just shutting your mouth, basically.
Yes.
Genesis, I'm not going to make you roll to do it because you're a mentalist. You're skilled. Dangerous.
You could literally just drop the mask if you wanted to.
Yeah. All's quiet. Wilhelm, Uki, Az, and Saoirse. If you want to attempt to do this, give me an intelligence save. Don't worry, it's not an insane DC or anything.
Wah.
Wilhelm,
That's-
show off.
That makes more sense.
Do we want to roll for Uki?
Yeah, let me get Uki together on this one. Int save. Hey, not bad. Very good discipline.
All right. Unfortunately, Az was all it took.
Yeah, it's,
My brain still hurts.
he is troubled. He's trying out here.
Like, no one can blame Az for this. Az has been through a lot.
Can Genesis give him a hand?
So,
Can I? Or is that?
well, there's something that's about to happen.
Oh no.
Genesis, did you pull your mask down?
I'm gonna say yes,
Okay.
just for the sake of it makes sense with the character.
I'm gonna give you a chance to avoid what's about to happen.
Oh no.
Okay.
So, in all of your minds, there is this piercing explosion of energy, this mental just slap. Something huge just like started in the very center of your brain and just bubbled outward. You could almost physically feel it tearing the cerebral matter of your minds. It's like this psychic wail, just this screaming screech fills every aspect of your being. So that's a... Yeah, let's do intelligence saves again.
One.
For everyone. And
Yep.
Genesis, you get this at advantage.
Alright.
Solid. Solid.
Dang!
Very
You
solid.
didn't even need that 20.
Solid.
Save some 20s for the rest of us. Alright, Uki's in there.
Alright.
No way!
As no.
No!
Poor
No! This is why we can't have nice things.
As no, you're recovering from psychic surgery.
No!
So as you get rocked by this thing, everybody else manages. I will just say it's through their constant communication with both the mentalist and listener and the network you guys have formed for so long now. And as you're just kind of like, what? And boom, it hits you. As rocks back on his heels, back of his head hits the tunnel, clang, and he just kind of sits down, drooling on himself for a minute there. You don't take any damage as you're stunned for the next 5 rounds.
Okay.
Just stunned. So he's literally just kind of like.
It's fine. It's just a 5 count. Allow it.
I tap Genesis on the shoulder.
Yes.
If you put that mask on Az, does it still work?
No. It's a good idea though, but no.
Yeah.
Genesis is like, no.
Unfortunate. Yeah.
It works because I am what I am. Like, if I weren't this, it wouldn't work. It's not just a Ventrite thing. It's, you know.
Unfortunate. Perhaps we should move him while he's insensate.
Plus, that's just terribly unsanitary.
Yeah. The listener gets Az under the armpits and begins to haul him along.
All right. So as you're lifting as this thing just connects with the tunnel. Wham! Its tentacles wrap around it tightly, and it begins to squeeze. You can hear like the glass beginning to crack. You can see the spidering, shattering of the surface of it beginning to kind of stretch and spread out as this, just to remind you, this cephalopod, which is a 300-foot radial span and weighs about 1,700 pounds.
Starts to apply the muscle.
Starts to apply pressure to the tunnel, intent on cracking it like a walnut. The water begins to seep in rapidly.
We must leave immediately. Shit. I'm not usually that fast. Can I do a thing?
What do you want to do?
I'm gonna do some Arcanist juice.
Okay.
We've got water infiltrating the tunnel, right?
It's starting to, yeah. You can tell it's a matter of time.
I would like to deploy energies in order to form a moving disc of water to haul me and Az along at a faster pace than I can just drag him.
A disc
Ass will
of,
be back in 30 seconds.
We don't have 30 seconds.
yeah, you really don't. So you want a disc of water?
Yes, I would like to just make a rushing, like, a very small cushion of water.
Like the ocean toxic corrosive water?
I anticipate taking an amount of damage, yes, but it's what's available to me because I would like to try and draw. I imagine if I reach out, there might be a current out there.
What? No, don't you have a flask that, like, refills itself? Just dump that out.
So
It produces decent water, but that's, like,
just
not what I'm trying to do here.
just
You can use the energy of the current to give yourself like a haste effect.
yeah, I was about to say you can apply kinetic energy.
To just shoot myself down the hallway? Sure, let's try that.
Yeah, I mean you don't have to use the water.
I just thought it would be fun. It would give me better sympathetic resonance for the spell.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of energy you could pull from. Uh-oh.
As I just so happened to be here. Oh my
Yes.
god, that cough was way too real.
Yeah, that was pretty real.
Oh my god.
Hey, if you would like to yeet us at high speed, now would be a great time for it.
Yeah, I gotta.
Yeah, use your kinesis.
Yeah, I can just, you know.
You gonna take the whole party?
How much would that cost?
Let's say a point per person, and then the distance will start applying more, depending, and speed if you want to really ratchet it up. It's a lot to focus
mean-
on all at once.
Yeah, I don't have that many points, my guy. I'm gonna start with Genesis as and listener, since they're the slowest members of the party, and we're just gonna push them for now to keep pace with everyone else because
Okay.
I don't know how long we're gonna have to do this.
This is how we die. So, that's listener as in Genesis.
We're dashing, right? We're all collected?
It's a kinetic ability. You could basically fly.
Is the wave coming at faster than the rate we could run?
It's not a wave yet. The tunnel is being crushed by the cephalopod. So it's going to crack and just shatter, and all the water is going to come rushing in, and if it keeps going.
I could use, I guess, 1 point for each person in the party plus a point for me. 6 points
Yeah.
to just get us out of here in the one move.
Yeah, you could basically, like, as was mentioned, yeet the party.
Okay.
After a certain distance, it will require another round of points, though. You're not sure how
That's
far
where-
you have to go at this point.
I mean, we can just take that one round and then figure it out after. Like, or at least we're not at the point of collapsing, right?
Gives us a good head start.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, then we can kind of take a second to think at least. But we'll do the one round, and Genesis like looks at listener trying to like cobble together something with Arcanist. He's like flipping through the pages of the book hurriedly, like
Literally flipping through the pages of his book, yes.
But I'd like to think he's doing it in a way where he's not even looking at the pages because he doesn't have eyes. There's just this
No,
this
he's just flipping.
this head looking in the middle distance somewhere vaguely. If it had eyes, this face is just pointed wherever, and there's this hand is just randomly just flipping through pages, not even looking at them. And Genesis is like trying to die. So.
He's doing this while hauling on ass.
She's just like collectively gathering everyone together with a mental arm, and that collective linking together is sort of, you can't really see it, but it's happening. Like her mind is wrapping around them, and then all of a sudden the collective of them is just shoved forward, just Yep. Everyone's just.
Well, give me your power roll.
Okay. And that's just like intelligence.
Intelligence plus proficiency.
So it's just an intelligence save, or?
Well, intelligence plus proficiency plus 1d20.
Okay.
15.
It's a good start.
It's not bad. It's not bad. You guys begin to move through the tunnel at a high rate of speed, unexpectedly for some of you.
Yes.
Genesis, you move pretty quickly with this. Everybody's kind of bouncing off the sides a little bit as you go and running into each other because you don't really have time to be gentle.
Yeah.
But you go about 30 feet and you come to a door. One of those big, like, round hatch doors with the wheel to unlock it. And as you reach it, you begin to hear crack, 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 and water beginning to kind of flow in behind you.
Can I open the door?
With your hands?
That seems risky.
Az, can you paint a portal?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm
Create a
stunned for
portal.
another 3 rounds.
Oh my god.
If you can use the kinesis, we can step through and we may be secure on the other side. It
Are
might
there
be
any-
sufficient to stop the water.
Are there any risks to touching the door?
Nothing visible. That's such a horrible answer.
Ooh, okay. I mean, we come rushing towards this door. What kind of opening is it? Is it like a naval sealed, like one with the wheel on it, where you have to roll it and touch it a lot, or is it just like a door handle you can open?
No, it's like the navel with the wheel, but it looks kind of like a bank vault. It's a big round door.
Yes.
So
It's a
like-
hatch, properly.
yeah, man, who knows what we're gonna need when we get on the other side of that, though? Like,
It's
I
probably
can tell
better
you
than
what
the
we'll meet
water.
behind.
I think Genesis is gonna try to open it with her hand, and then like, if it's too difficult and heavy, then use another point.
Listener and Uki also grab on. We're yanking this thing.
All right.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Saoirse will also throw herself in the ring.
All right. So
Between all of
everybody's
us, yeah.
panicking,
Paul.
scrabbling for this wheel, straining. It's
I
Every-
drool a little bit.
is what direction is everyone turning?
Clockwise? Clockwise, right? Clockwise. It has to be clockwise, right?
It doesn't. It can be whatever church feels like.
Can I roll a check to make sure we're moving the right way?
Well, everyone's scrambling independently. That's why I asked. Don't worry, I'm messing with you. I just thought that was funny.
It was, yeah.
Everybody's kind of in a panic and ah!
Mhm.
So, with that many people working on it, you hear it kind of crack, 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 and even some rust break off as your adrenaline surges and you guys throw the wheel up and throw the door open. Genesis, you lurch everybody through as you can hear the tunnel behind you shatter and water begins to just torrentially pour in.
I close the door. I close the door. Close the door. I close the door. I close
Once
the door.
everyone's through, it is 100% time to close the door and
Are you-
spin the wheel.
Are you using your hands to close?
No, I'm mentally just. Whoa.
So one more point and a power roll, please.
Yes.
Juice 'em.
Roll
We're
a one,
taking
roll
no
a one,
risks.
Roll a one. Roll. No, I'm sorry. I'm joking.
I'm pretty sure I can avoid that.
Yes. You have luck on every character.
I say again, I'm pretty sure I can avoid that. There's a reason I made sure to take that feat. Oh my god! Not gonna catch me sleeping, that's for sure.
You still might roll a one twice.
Maybe not.
No,
21.
looking good.
So in your panic, the door just Slam! Reverberates out behind you. Dust and rust go flying. You hear the water hit the door, and you can hear that psychic wail emanate one more time as the frustrated creature pushes off, angry that it's lost its meal.
Lol. Be mad.
Meal? I'm hardly a meal.
Collectively, we are a snack at best.
Appetized, maybe.
Yeah. Well, you guys are an untainted snack. That's a delicacy.
Yeah. You go to the fancy restaurant, you get a tiny little plate, and it's got like 1 carrot on it, but it's the best carrot you've ever had.
It's got like 1 elf on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the water kind of...
Saoirse might not be so untainted.
True. I'm sure she's still very tasty, though. But no, you guys hear the water rush hit the door. I kind of jump back as it hits, going, God, don't break. But yeah, you're standing in the darkness, finally kind of catching your breath. And you can finally look around.
Okay.
So, as you finally get a chance to kind of look around, how about my written descriptions here?
Yeah.
You step into the central cavernous void of the dome of the Shining Eyes. The very weight of the history of the tragedy that has occurred here. You can't help but feel the weight of it pressing down on you. Because you know from your historical knowledge and what you've learned about the place that this was once just this huge bustling hub of trade and community and industry and mining and manufacturing for the dwarves. It was one of the huge aspects that brought them to power way beyond pretty much every other culture on the planet. And now it's just this desolate, haunting shell of what it once was after the cataclysm that reshaped the entire world. It sprawls to a sightless expanse into the darkness, and as you look up, you can see the curved, towering obsidian dome kind of stretching off way into the darkness and out of sight. The floor beneath your feet is uneven from the ceaseless centuries of traffic that must have come and gone through here. It's just a mosaic of like worn cobblestones and flagstones and whatnot. And you can still see the hints of all the dwarven craftsmanship that are everywhere in the stylings and the angles and the cuts of the stone. But this is far beyond anything that you've seen, even down when you were in Underhome. This is something far beyond what you were allowed to see there. And what you saw even there was in ruin, but even now, it's like the stone wasn't hewn from the rock. It was shaped, it was pushed, it was molded like clay, but you're looking at like solid granite figures, perfectly shaped and carved at every angle, polished even now to a reflective sheen in some places where the damage is less. There's intricate carvings and symbols etched into the walls in Old Dwarf. You also notice that the bioluminescent plants that lit your way, they're reacting to your presence again. It's a little more spread out because you're not enclosed. It's wide open above you, but it's enough to kind of light the area a little bit around you. Okay. It casts this kind of gentle glow, but it leaves the space around you more like a dim twilight effect. There's also this really thick chill in the air. Like, it is very cold here. Cold as in like Stonebridge cold, but it's a cold that just bites through whatever you're wearing. It's that humid, horrible cold.
the perfectly still air.
Yeah. And you guys are very deep under a black ocean. So yeah, it is very cold.
Uki, insensitive to the cold, takes a moment to admire the stonework. Beautiful. Not a hint that it had ever even seen a tool.
I drool a bit.
You're coming out of it as.
I think Genesis goes over and gives him like a little few like gentle taps on the side of the face, like, come on. Come on. You're gonna be okay. Come on.
Come back to us.
Just like that thing that people do when they're trying to like lightly wake you up. Like, come on, they just like cup your face and you're like, no.
As you're lucky, you know, a couple of chapters ago, she would have walked up and just gone, "Hey!"
I know. We've been friends for a while.
There's a lot more care in this one. It's like, come on.
Yeah, Abattoir Genesis was a whole different person.
The amount of blood on my hands, bro. Woo!
So, this allows me to swap our map screen
Woo!
to this.
Oh,
Hey.
nice.
I'm scared.
That's a big old map.
So there we are. So, and I've illuminated a decent area around you. I'm assuming you're still going to keep your bioluminescent friends glowing as much as you can.
Yeah, listener has no reason to stop. He knows the party likes having light.
And like I said, it illuminates a decent distance, especially here where light is so scarce. Even the dim light seems to travel a lot further. So, behind you, you see what you assume to have been basically like a wet dock. Where you landed. How about that, you know? To the south, we're going to use the cardinal directions for ease. To the south, the luminescence seems slightly brighter and more prevalent. It's almost like the algae is thicker to the south of you. There's a lot of ruin, a lot of strange stalks sticking up that the algae seems to wrap around. And there's a lot of moisture to the south. A lot of moisture. Behind you, you can see this tower rising along the surface of the dome. A very large tower, as I'm sure you can imagine by the size. You can't see the top of it, though. But, yeah.
Wait, didn't Evelyn mention something about a key to a tower?
Did she?
I think she did. Now, granted, we used a key to unlock a tower on the lost island of Garwin, and that's how we got the Celestial Harmonium. But I remember her talking about a tower where she was just like, wait, I thought this was a tower to get down into the dome. So,
Minds are working.
Yeah, tower sounds familiar. Saoirse will point it out and say, I believe Evelyn mentioned something about a tower.
Well, there isn't very much else that we know of down here. I remain unclear on what exactly we're looking for, really. I wish the prophecies were a little less obscure.
Well, suppose we're looking for whatever this key goes to. And she, like, sort of holds up the key that she has tied on a, like, string of leather that she's worn around her neck. This entire time.
Had that for a while. As something comes down from the sky and snatches it and flies away. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
We're not having a butcher part 2.
That one worked out pretty well for us, but doesn't mean we want to do it again. Alright, may I propose we take our union break?
You may. Everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been getting too into it recently and just playing straight through.
It's true. It's true. But yeah, take that as a compliment. Yeah, we will be right back after we refill our tea, drinks, sodas, deflate bladders, colons, whatever people need to do. I'm not going to ask. But yeah, don't touch that dial. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss what's next. We're live, so we are ready.
Roll for initiative.
So, we have taken we've taken our first steps into the dome. This long-awaited event is finally here.
Oh.
And no one's died yet.
Yet.
Yet. We nearly did.
Define died.
Yeah, that's...
Any trip to the land of the dead that you come back from doesn't count.
It's true. It's true. I mean, you guys have already been to the great beyond and back again, so not many people can say that.
Mm-hmm.
So, before we go too much further, I feel like I would be doing a disservice not to very casually mention that as you enter into the area and take your first breathtaking look around the vast expanse that makes up the dome of the Shining Eye that you're in, those of you with a certain spectral affinity immediately notice that there are entities everywhere. Dwarven entities, young, old, male, female. But as you step forward, it's like they all stand up from the ground, almost as if they're lifting up where their remains were, slowly and wispy, and their heads turn towards you, each one of them revealing an eyeless, vacant stare as 1,000 faces turn to regard your entry into their domain.
I'm so glad I can't see this creepy shit.
Fucking mood.
Listener to Wilhelm. Quite unusual. I have not seen this since the island we stopped over at and picked up our traveler.
I'm pretty sure those Shawnakesians still had eyes. They just had their mouths sewn shut.
It wasn't better exactly.
This is a little more creepy. This is why, like, this whole scene is why characters with, like, solid orbs for eyes are, like, can be creepy at least. I.e. Bryn. Every Volrestad. Yeah. It's creepy.
Is that what you saw?
Very similar, but not exactly the same. I
They had the
expect
mark-
this. I expect this sort of behavior from spirits that have been manipulated towards a cause, or perhaps impacted by some great working.
Is this common?
No, decidedly not. Decidedly not. Very few are willing to truly meddle in the affairs of death.
Can we help them?
A question I struggle with every day. Let's find out. And I just approach the nearest one.
Walking with them.
Alright, you're just approaching the nearest specter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are they going?
As you approach, they sink into the ground, almost as if fearful of you.
Concern.
I place my hand upon the stone. I assume it's all stone tiles.
Yeah.
And I reach out psychically to see if the spirit is there or if it has truly retreated beyond my range.
It's hard to say just because there's so many. They're everywhere. Like, you sense the presence everywhere, below you, around you.
They have a greater awareness of the living than is typical. More commonly, they'll simply act out their deaths. These appear to be fixed mostly in place, but still watching, frightened even after death. Let us continue onwards for now, Wilhelm, and keep an eye out for any spirits that seem either hardier or more foolish.
Hey, maybe don't, wave the soul scythe at him. That's probably pretty intimidating.
Oh, it would be, yes.
Hey, look, here's a prison. For things like you.
Yes. I am the wrong subclass for that.
Maybe when you level up.
But yes, let us keep our eyes peeled for an easier entry. Attempting to force a spirit into conversation is often counterproductive.
Alright. So you begin to move?
Yeah, I'm gonna walk over that way.
Which way?
Over there.
Can you give me a general direction, like cardinal compass direction?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Where are you? I'm right here. Where? Right here.
Classic.
I'm gonna go Nuis stuff.
Louise, bro. Let's go.
You know where the danger is? The opposite direction.
Yeah,
Yes.
not that way.
Not that way.
The other way.
Hang on, let me pull up my bestiary real quick.
Something here looks like there's a road or like a promenade or something. I'm gonna walk down that.
So we do vector math here for directions. Nui South is just like, it's gonna be up or down. You got a
Holy
50-50
shit.
shot.
With a little side to side, depending.
A little wiggle depends on what your error is, really.
I'm moving on the z-axis.
Yeah. I am ascending right now. Thank you very much. I would like to be on the surface.
I'm gesticulating in the fourth dimension.
Nah. Let's head for the tower.
How very Pythagorean of you.
Bold of you to assume I'm in this dimension.
So, the tower is behind you, more or less. It looms over the wet dock. So, with a little creativity, you could potentially climb to it because you don't see an immediate entrance. However, there is a tremendous amount of rubble around the base of it, suggesting that perhaps some sort of housing or entry might have collapsed at some point.
Is it worth surmounting this obstacle? We do have to climb quite a ways.
Wait, what did we even come here for?
A fair question. The prophecy refuses to be straightforward.
Shuffle the slides back into order. What are we doing here?
Saving the world.
Saving
right.
the world.
Okay. Is saving the world left or is saving the world right?
If they had told us that, we may have had this solved already.
Cool.
I have an idea.
Flip a coin.
Saoirse is the most trustworthy in these matters.
Well, see, whenever I went inside myself back in the spirit world and Ghost saved me, she said that she was able to reach me, or at least this was her guess, because there was a portal that leads into Cairne somewhere, and she thinks that maybe the door in the prophecy is that portal. Because apparently where she's from, door is another name for portal. I was thinking, because she was in there with me, with my soul, that maybe I can search for her resonance and feeling that out, maybe it'll lead us in a direction that we can go.
Wait.
I'm wondering if that beep came through the mic.
How do we
Yeah,
know
we could hear
that
the beep.
we can
That was my
trust
seismometer going off.
This ghost, this mysterious creature that comes to you in a vision and offers you a promise of
Yeah, I
of
mean,
a
I don't know
better
who this.
future and a better world.
Who
That's
is
exactly
who
how
is
eldritch
she?
beings operate. That's what got us into this fucking mess in the first place, children. Like,
Meet your new patron. Some bullshit.
no. You guys have like cued me in a little bit of history, okay? And the last time y'all children opened up a portal into another dimension, a door, whatever, you called down some sort of like extraplanar blight and ruined the fucking planet, and I had to take a 200-year nap. All right, we're not
Even the
doing that
gifts,
again.
Yeah, even the gifts in this realm aren't even gifts. Like,
But
what says this whatever fucking humanoid eldritch horror of worm whatever?
It's
That
called.
popped into
You
your-
called it ghost. That's not a like happy name.
Did you insight check this being at all?
Well,
Like,
just to point out that
Yes.
listener speaks to ghosts all the time.
Well,
Yes.
they
But I don't
call
trust
themselves-
them necessarily.
yeah! I mean, literally, last time you started playing a duet with somebody, you almost died! Hello?
That's fair. That's fair.
But at the end of the prophecy, we need to go to an open door, and we have a key to a door. And if it is a portal, and maybe
I don't
going
know,
to
man.
ghosts will lead us to the portal.
Listening to a prophecy that is anecdotally documented is vastly different than trusting somebody that strolled into your conscious mind. I can do that bullshit. That's not trustworthy.
They
Sirius
This-
is just going to look down and off to the side and start to cry.
Oh.
now this
Like, I don't mean to
entity
make you feel bad. I just
did do us a good turn. They have restored Saoirse and Wilhelm to us, so we may grant them the smallest benefit of the doubt.
So they restore two people to our party that wouldn't have been in that situation if they hadn't started the duet in the first place. So we trust them enough to gain entrance into this hellscape of a place.
Oh no, certainly not. I would
Are-
suggest, if this is actually a ghost of the type that I am most familiar with, cautious optimism.
Sus.
The dead are inherently suspicious.
I'm just saying.
After all, had they been more clever or more strong, perhaps they would be less dead.
Like I said earlier, she was very much alive.
Oh, then you're quite out of my area of expertise.
A little bit more wiggly, and they might have pressed their way into this realm and killed us all.
Yes.
Who
But-
the hell is that?
The trouble before us, this tower, that does look like an awful long way to climb.
It's fair enough.
Do we wish to attempt it anyways?
I mean, certain calculated risks have to be taken. I mean,
Church, Uki assesses the build-up. How bad are we looking?
What is she trying to assess specifically?
Will the entire pile collapse as we try to make our way up to get in through a window or something?
No, it crumbled and settled long ago. It's actually pretty solid by the look of it.
No.
As far as
Uki
being able,
comments.
like climbing over it, is that what
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
Yeah. It looks pretty solid.
Uki says,
Is there a way to- is there
it's
a
been
way-
there a long time, and I think it's going to stay there for a while. What were you saying, Ez?
Well, is there like a way to unsettle it and make it like collapse the rest of the way so the doorway is open?
Explosives.
Uki looks at it again and
oh
says,
my god.
Anything that's going to shake it loose will probably bring down the tower and also maybe crack the dome.
Is that the tower that we need to go into?
Shrugs.
We've come full circle.
Evelyn mentioned
Explosives
something
as...
about a tower.
Oh my god.
Let's try it. And Uki starts to climb.
Okay.
I'll say she picks out a reasonable path for everyone.
Why not?
The climb, to be fair, is not arduous. It's not even terribly difficult. It's more like a hike than a climb with difficult terrain. You guys are old salty dogs, though. You know, you've been through it. You know your way around. You've climbed and kind of underwater. So
Sort of, yeah.
climbing it's slow going, but it's not dangerous as long as you take your time. It will take a little bit, maybe about 2 hours before you can actually reach the side of the tower. But
Why not?
if you're willing to take the time. Okay. So yeah, you make the climb. Nobody falls, no injuries, no weird attacks. The specters below kind of continue to come out of the ground and just leer at you with their sightless eyes, silently swaying in the darkness below. But you finally reach the side of the tower. Did I grab the did I grab the emoji bubble? Wow, I didn't know I could do that.
Huh?
There we go.
Mysteries
Knowledge.
abound.
Okay.
So you climb up the rubble, up the tower. You touch the side. The side is smooth as glass, though it's stone. You can tell, and it appears to be one solid piece of stone. There are regular small windows that seem to spiral around it as it goes up that you might be able to squeeze through. Or you could try to scale the smooth surface.
No.
Nah.
Yeah,
A
I feel like
better
that's not
option
gonna come up.
seems unlikely to present itself.
No. No, I'll just make a window bigger.
Also an option.
He is a professional, after all.
Alright. Are you activating your abilities?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll just make the window bigger.
Ooh.
Reach up magically and just grab both sides of the window and just like rip it apart.
Who rules beneath the waves?
Let's find out.
It's actually super impressive. Genesis is just like watching Az manipulate reality, like with his hands, and is like, woo! Jeez. I think you're on our side. You're on our side, right? You're on our side, right? Right?
For now.
For now.
For now! Ah, no! For now! Ah!
That's a good answer.
Oh my god. That's the most anarchist thing you've ever said. I love it.
Also good. So, my God. Okay. So first off, as you're using your abilities. Okay. So picture in your mind the way you want them to manifest, and tell me what that looks like in your mind.
He just kind of grabs like the window frame and just kind of like presses it out, and the wall just kind of like deforms around it. Like the window gets bigger and wider until it's a door, because he just rips it right open.
So basically what you're going to be doing is transmuting so to speak, to
Yeah.
change and mold and sculpt the shape.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, give me your ability roll, please.
It's pretty good. You know, it's pretty good.
It's an okay numbers.
No, it's very good. So, you begin to feel this kind of rush of cold go through you, right? Just this shiver of cold as you feel this power roll through your body. And as you do, this shroud of kind of intrusive thinking just peels through your mind. And as you're doing this, as you're focusing, as an artist does, on shaping this window wider, creatively moving it, shaping the stone, as you're doing it, you can't help but think of how many ways you could utterly destroy everyone with you. You could do it so easy. You could do it so quickly. Half of them wouldn't even notice. But as you're doing this, the stone itself becomes water. And you move it, shaping it, changing it, widening it out until you have this perfect, beautiful circle of smooth, gentle curves.
Appropriate that he called the power behind the pack of the deep.
At least 72 ways. Just my thumb alone.
All I can think of is the Chronicles of Riddick. I'm gonna kill you with this teacup.
There's another 216 with that teacup.
But yes, it is definitely open enough now. You still kind of reel, and that shiver, that lingering thought is in your mind. You're welcome to roleplay it however you want, but I imagine there's a part of you that's kind of like, whoa. Slow down, Az. Where did that come from?
Shocking bit is for anybody riding my brain right now. It isn't Az. It's like, whoa. Why is he thinking about, like...
I wasn't poking around in there.
Step on in.
Yeah, usually I kind of leave that to you. I mean, there's no reason for me to be invasive, right?
Invasive is great. Mauve.
No.
Oh, Genesis, sorry.
Don't start calling me the wrong name!
So, yeah, the way is open, though.
In we go. That's much better, Az.
In the old day, that's how we did it.
I suspect it might have been how they do it here also, given how smooth it all is.
Just make a door. Just make a door, he says.
Yeah. But yeah, as we're all through, it shifts back into a window.
Jesus. Okay.
So, as you enter, you're on a very tight, spiraling staircase that seems to wide around the entirety of the tower. Once again, just smooth stone.
Does it spiral to the left, or does it spiral to the right?
If you're facing upward, it spirals to the left.
Ah, okay. Good thing I'm left-handed.
Would you like to go up or down?
I'll go up.
Okay.
Up is usually good.
So,
Like up.
the stairs are only wide enough for you to walk one abreast, so single file. those of you who are taller than, say, about 5'7",
Yeah.
are having to duck your heads.
Yeah.
Rip.
Alrighty.
So like I said, it's a little tight.
God, we designed this place dwarves.
Genesis looks over at Saoirse as she's like ducking down and is like reminded that this super tall humanoid is actually like really big.
Yep.
we treat Saoirse like baby, but actually baby is humongo.
Actually, baby is 6'2".
Okay.
It's easier to forget with Az and I in the background, just kind of taking up space.
Yeah. So
Just super innocently, the 6'2" person just starts a duet with somebody and almost dies, and is like, "Oh."
So just so I have an inkling here, I know Az is in the lead. Who's behind Az?
Genesis will go if nobody else is super keen on being next.
Okay. Genesis. Who's behind Genesis?
Probably Saoirse.
Okay. And who's next?
I think Uki wants the rear guard because, you know, it's better to fire downwards in a clean line of sight without your party in the way if you're going to be shooting firearms.
Fair enough. Okay.
Strategy.
Yes.
So Uki in the back.
Uki in the back, listener can be just ahead of her.
All right.
I'll be just ahead of listener.
Okay. So it puts you and Saoirse in the middle, basically. Okay. So we begin to trek upward. Once again, it's even colder in here than it was outside of here. You notice. You can see your breath. Those of you who have it. Every time your skin brushes against the smooth stone, it sends a chill down you because the stone itself is just icy cold to the touch. You begin to work your way around slowly. Every footfall just reverberates in a way that kind of makes you cringe because it's so deathly quiet here. And you make your way around slowly. You pass other windows that look out. Some of them look out into the ocean on the other side of the dome. Some of them look out into the internal parts of the dome, and it's just dark as far as the eye can see either direction. But you can't help but imagine that at one time, the vistas that this would have presented must have been just inspiring to see. But slowly but surely, you make your way and make your way. Nothing seems to hinder you or get in your way. And then eventually, it stops at a hatch in the ceiling. There does not appear to be any standard type of lock mechanism or handle, nor can you see any hinges.
Seems like an Az situation.
It kind of does. Should I do the thing? I guess I'll do the thing.
You doing
What
the thing?
hatch?
Alright, gonna open it up?
Yep.
Okay, give me your roll, please.
Okay. What hatch?
Solid. Alright. Once again, that cold begins to flow through you, and you begin to reshape things. Hey, Father Jarity, thank you. The Liching Hour. Hey, we're getting raided with a party of 8 with our friends,
Hello.
the Liching Hour. All right.
Yo, welcome.
Woo. You guys rule. Thank you guys for coming and checking us out here in our original homebrew world of Cairne. Always glad to see you. Thank you very much, guys. Hey. I love it.
Caught us at a very interesting time too.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
I think the game's going well, but I'm the DM, and you know. To be fair, I've got more deaths than anyone.
Yes. As is your lot in life.
It is my lot in life.
But for now, we have to open unusual doors with unusual methods.
Yes. So as I was saying, once again, that cold energy begins to flow through you as you begin to reshape the stone and substance of the hatch itself, moving it, shaping it, and once again those dark, intrusive thoughts begin to weigh heavily on your mind. Not only are you thinking them, but you're picturing them. You're picturing not just physical violence, but tormenting them, playing with them like a cat might play with a mouse before it kills it, just batting it around, tormenting the creature. You're picturing the ways that you could do this in your mind as you're shaping the door, moving it across, and wondering what it would feel like to hold that kind of power over these people you've been traveling with. But yeah, you eventually open it up.
Cool. Doors are open. I climb up.
All right. You pop out, and everybody following suit?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this opens up into an enormous, size of the tower, domed room. In the center of this room is a huge, multifaceted, clear crystal that is cracked almost in half. The entire surrounding of it is in the water, and it is made of some type of crystal or glass, allowing a full 360 view of the top of the dome behind you and the dark of the ocean beyond.
Well, I suppose it is interesting.
It's kind of like a lighthouse with a cracked bulb.
That would be a fair assessment.
Okay.
This year we'll begin to poke around the room while everybody's doing their thing.
Okay. You're poking.
Yes.
Are you poking into anything particular, or?
Well, I assume there are no spirits up here. Or, I don't know, could there be? There might be.
Nothing visible. Nothing visible.
Well, I will take the bait. I will reach out with my senses.
Okay.
The spiritualist ones, not the psychic ones.
What are you looking for anything particular, or just looking for a presence?
Yeah, I'm searching for traces. I'm saying, is the energy of death up here? Has anything died up here in the last, since Cairne was shut off?
A lot of old death. And something else. Something not dead
Ooh.
that you're picking up on, strangely. It's something very, very foreign to you. It's an energy that you're unfamiliar with. If you had a nose, you would probably equate it to a bad smell.
I will take a moment to try and track that down. If it has a particular origin, it's not just kind of baked into the place.
Okay. Is anyone else doing anything while he's doing this?
Pondering.
Pondering, okay. Anybody else pondering?
I'm questioning Genesis.
Ponder your orbs.
That's risky. Okay. So Genesis is like looking into the middle distance, like one eye twitching, just like the right eye twitching, like, and her eye line just slides over to Az and is like, is that a good idea or? Well,
If it potentially causes trouble, it's definitely a good idea.
I feel like that's risky. That's a risk.
Fun
The thing
one,
is,
though.
I have no idea. where your abilities come from or where they go, so I have no ability to provide any significant input for this.
Cool. So let's find out together. I'm still a little bit connected to the drowned, I guess.
Okay.
I want to.
So risky.
I'd like to siphon off some magical mojos and use it to repair this crystal in the center of the room.
Interesting. Okay. Let's get your power roll.
Cool. Not as great.
Okay. So as you want, and Genesis, are you assisting somehow? Monitoring?
I want to say that I'm assisting, but I don't know what that would even entail. I'm just like watching the energy flow and kind of jumping in like a game of jump rope as I see it possible. Like, okay, and whoosh, and okay.
Are you like hitchhiking in the mentally, or
As much as possible without being invasive. Just kind of.
I mean, if
How
he's
do you do
invited
that?
you in, he's invited you in.
Okay.
But it's up to you. You know, whatever you want to do, obviously.
Just like watching, looking. Ooh. Okay. Okay, so then you do this, right? Okay, yep. I'm helping where I can.
Okay.
It's not a seamless process, but you know.
Okay. So, as you begin, once again, that cold energy flows through you. That kind of veil of darkness overcomes you as you begin to manipulate the material of the crystal, turning parts of it into water and reshaping it back into a crystalline form, improving it where you can, even using your artistic talent and ability. It's difficult. Like, this is a very complex thing to begin with, and there's energies and magic latent within it that you weren't aware of, that you're kind of beginning to weave into it as well. Though you don't fully understand what they are, you can see where the connections go, but it's complicated. And as you're doing it, once again, those dark, intrusive thoughts begin to just weigh on your mind, and it's pushing you even harder. It's encouraging you to reach out, not just to this thing, not just to these things that you're moving and shaping, but asking you to imagine how you could manipulate the people around you, how you could shape events just like you're shaping the water, just like you're shaping this crystal right now with the same artistic flair. How you could push them and find the leverage you need to make them do what you want without any pushback. You wouldn't even have to fight.
Do I see this, like,
Well,
since I'm here?
if you're hitchhiking.
Yeah, I'm just like, listen, I could do that shit too, but I don't ponder it, like, relax.
See, that's why I brought you along. You're the rock that I needed.
So,
No.
are you saying this in his mind, Genesis? Or verbally?
I think this is in his mind, so it's just like the two of us talking about it.
Okay.
So people don't like get super concerned about like, oh, Az is contemplating overthrowing us. Ooh, it's
So-
concerning for an elf to be like thinking like this, you know.
As you interrupt his dark thoughts, I need you to give me an intelligence save, please.
Oh my god. Alrighty. Okay. Okay.
DC 400.
Bye, guys.
Good,
Save,
good
you
luck.
said?
Az has a gland or something for handling this. It's genetic for him. You're just getting the deal.
Save, you said?
Yes, please.
Okay.
It's okay. Don't be afraid.
Okay. 27.
Oh, it was so close. But you made it.
Oh, don't tell me that! Oh my god!
You made it. I'm just messing with you.
Oh, okay.
So, as you interrupt, this presence fills your mind as well, Genesis. This dark, overwhelming presence. And you just hear this guttural voice echo in your mind loudly enough to where you just yank your own senses back into your own head protectively.
Nope.
And all it says is, "I'll deal with you in good time."
Jesus Christ.
Nah. Genesis physically recoils from Az and is like, no.
I want to ask, but I'm not gonna ask.
Nope.
You know, I've always felt that there's a bit of like similarity here, like we might be dealing with cousins. Various water-themed malfeasances.
After a second, she puts a hand on Az's shoulder and try to like be there for him, even though her abilities can't like do this. It's just like, you're gonna be fine. You got this. You're gonna do it.
Good luck, buddy.
I don't know what that was, but it's spooky.
So, Az, are you going to continue?
Yep,
This project is going to take you a bit.
that's fine. I can finish. I can do this.
Okay. So, I'm going to let everyone kind of catch up, see if anyone else is doing anything, then we're going to get one more roll from you, Az, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anybody else doing anything while Az is repairing the crystal?
Still searching out the evil scent.
Okay. Give me an ability check on your end, then, please.
Okay.
It's coming from Az.
I really shouldn't interrupt him while he's working. Genesis,
Yep.
can you detect the unmistakable scent of great evil emanating from our friend?
Scent. No.
No.
Voice? Yes.
Oh, okay. I occasionally get confused between hearing and smelling. I don't really do either.
Yeah, plant, right?
Yes.
It's all the same.
But it's there. It is there. Though.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Perhaps we should caution him against doing whatever it is that he's doing right now ever again.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Well, I imagine he's doing what he usually does.
So you're just gonna tell somebody not to use their abilities because they think that it's talking to them is evil? Like,
I expect him to ignore the caution, yes. Still, we have a certain responsibility in these cases.
I mean, anecdotally, we don't traditionally reject paths of action if there's danger to them, do we?
We have failed to do so in the past, but let's consider properly. The last time he went on about it in this fashion, it did bring us into conflict with the dead man.
This is the Cairne version of "Don't yuck his yums."
Yeah, just have a feeling that's gonna go badly for us if we don't use everything that's possible for us to use. Like,
But in the end, we must leave it up to his judgment. But I feel a word of warning is warranted.
I tried, but whatever that is creeped me out so bad I'm not in there anymore. So,
Oh, that bad?
yeah, I have a feeling that some wars are meant to be fought by the people fighting them.
Very well. Very well.
Like, just like you can't tell me how to harness my abilities, even though I could just kind of reach over there and, you know,
Yes.
like I've done a couple. You know, remember that guy that was gonna tell the guard about us, and you're like,
Yes. Yes, I do.
or that one dude where I was like,
Yes, I remember that one too.
huh? Yeah. So things are necessary, is what I'm saying.
At times. At times.
Just
If only you
rationalize
all
evil.
derived your powers from the dead, also. It's so much easier.
Sure, way easier than just straight up choking them out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, are you gonna interject at all, listener, with Az?
I don't want to bother him while he's working, and Genesis has successfully talked me out of it. I'm just going to keep an eye on him.
I am Mom.
Well, Wilhelm, Saoirse, you guys doing anything?
No, just sort of watching.
All right. Wilhelm?
Same thing, keeping an eye out.
All right.
Seeing if anything's approaching.
All right. Your guard duty. Solid. Also smart. All right. Well, let's get another roll in. As you pour your power into the crystal.
Let there be light.
Hey.
So as
Oh, that's a one. That's a one. That's a one. Oh.
That could be good or bad for us. You know, it depends on whether Church thinks of one as failure or as for his powers.
which end of that spectrum is?
Yeah, where does he keep the bad stuff? Does he keep the bad stuff at 1 or 100?
It's an
So-
extreme. We don't know.
So as you, with a flourish, just set this forward, and it immediately just beams this tremendously bright light out, illuminating the entire area. I better do the actual proper layer here. Bing! So yeah, it immediately just illuminates the area all around you. Everybody's kind of blinded for a second as this happens. You all kind of turn your faces away, with the exception of Listener, who's like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, this seems fine. It got a lot nicer in here suddenly.
As
Mhm.
as the light hits you in the face, it doesn't affect you. Like, you barely even blink. But one thing you do see, clear as day, is this horrible, wide-mawed, fish head-like individual staring at you with big, jagged needle teeth and this
Oh, boy.
strange lit lure hanging off the front of his head.
Oh boy!
Well, I was right on both counts.
Wearing a large fedora, grinning
Oh
at you.
boy!
I called this shit months ago.
It grins at you, and you feel this sudden connection. form.
Anglers in the chat, baby.
You feel this sudden connection just fuse between you, and you could swear you hear this faint sound of him cackling as the light fades to a tolerable level and begins to just swing around the room, illuminating an arc as it does.
The angler is the drowned patron, isn't he? She.
Called that shit. I called that shit.
Honestly, I was kind of feeling it too, that we were literally bringing this like secret power patron into Cairne. Like, yeah. God damn it.
That's gonna go well for us. That's gonna go well.
Also, wow, this like timeline shenanigans.
What else was I supposed to do?
I'll deal with you in your time.
Nope. Nope. Nobody. Nope. Whatever's over there.
So as you feel different, not really sure why, but you feel different, but very, very proud of your work.
A beautiful piece of work. It takes master craftsmanship to craft a crystal that clear, okay?
That is very
Just
nice.
the level of focus and dedication to arrange the energy so that it's so perfect that light doesn't like refract weird. Oh, it's a level of concentration that you children just aren't ready for. Like, try it in 100 years, maybe then your brains will have developed.
You certainly deserve some type of reward or compensation for all your work, as.
It's not quite sunlight what they've trapped in there, but it does feel nice.
Do you say that to him?
Yeah, I say that to him.
How dare.
What did they load that with, Az? You were repairing it, I suppose. How did they power this crystal?
Arcana.
I assumed as much. The light stolen from arcane sources, it's never quite the same.
Yeah, not everybody can make a sun
Yes.
in the palm of their hand.
Listener pulls out the sunstone again. He says, I really wish I could figure that one out. That would be so convenient.
Well then,
I wonder what we've illuminated. He goes over to the, I think you said it was all the way around, or were there just individual windows?
No, it's all the way around. 360.
Alright. I just go over and look out and see what we're seeing out there now.
Like I said, you look back on the dome from one direction. Like, you can see the top surface of the dome, littered with, algae and barnacles for how long it's been. All of it has this weird violet blackish tint from the taint of the poisonous water in the ocean. Looking out beyond, you can see as the light swings around, it just, the particulate matter floating in the water, like the light goes a certain distance and then just kind of stops. And it looks like almost like a laser beam of light going out, because it just does not have much in the way of ambient spread from it because of the nature of the water. As you watch, it makes a couple rotations. And you don't see anything, just every now and then you see like something dark moving in the water, like dodging out of the light maybe, and moves around and moves around. About on the third rotation, you see it sweep across a huge mass of tentacles that whips out of the light just as it passes.
Ooh. It may not be too helpful to us now, but I feel we may have learned something. It was quite the diversion. I suppose it doesn't really illuminate anything down in the dome itself, since we're probably set a bit too high and the beam's a bit too, lateral.
Yeah, no, it's just glinting off the top, mainly.
Yeah. How's that dome looking? Is it looking cracked and pressured, or are we still stable out there?
It looks remarkably solid. Like I said, it's littered with all kinds of debris and, algae and barnacles and, that type of stuff. It's been down here for a long time and has not received any amount of external maintenance in the last 200 years. But you don't see any obvious points of damage. At least not at the top.
Well, unless there's any further business, perhaps we should see what the bottom of the tower has for us.
Okay. Are we all in agreement?
Yep, all in agreement.
Yeah, that whatever that is, that's a lot.
All right.
Woof.
So down we go. Same marching order, I assume.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So you make.
As we line up though, I do mention to as my friend, do be careful. I don't think I can summon your goddess a second time to help out if we get in trouble.
I don't understand. I summoned her. What?
It was a complicated situation.
What are you? I don't understand the implication.
We have a tendency to attract attention.
Every bit of power that I touch belonged to the goddess.
Truly, I hope so. That does make it much easier.
Oh, he doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
So as you're walking and conversing, you make about one full rotation. And before you've had a chance to pass another window, the stairway ends. Like just in a blank wall that wasn't there before.
Oh, surely we came up further than this the first time.
Oh, much further.
Alright, who put the wall here? An illusion? Can I touch it?
Feels solid.
Well, I didn't put a wall here. Did you put a wall here?
Of course not. Why would I put a wall there?
I don't know. Because you can. Are you playing
We're
tricks on my
trying to
brain?
progress upwards. Why would I block our pathway?
Does everybody else see this wall, or are you planting that in my brain?
No,
Why
the
would I
wall is certainly there.
Oh my
Because you
god! I want us to get up this tower just as much as you do.
Well, we're heading
now
down
we're going
now.
down the tower.
Down. I'm
Down.
sorry.
No, you're good.
That was my bad. I just.
okay.
I'm sickums. It's fine.
It's fine.
Would you like us to try it, or do you want to get this one?
No, you guys.
I'll take a
do
shot
like
at
that.
it if you like.
If you can.
Just gonna guess that wall isn't super critical. It's fine.
I mean, it's blocking your way.
Can I make a secret doors check, Church?
More than welcome. By all
Genesis
means.
steps aside.
There you are.
There
'Tis the 25.
There is no secret doors.
So it's really just a wall. There's no trick here. It's just the wall.
It's a wall. It looks ancient.
Well. I examine the wall for... Alright, so here's the trick, right? We're still working this out in the new system,
Uh-huh.
but the boundaries between the abilities of the more magical classes is a bit of a tricky one.
Okay.
We know that the artist is for manipulating matter. That's what they do. That's their shtick. They're the only people who can do it.
Yeah, they can create, basically.
Yes. The limits of the Arcanist are a bit fuzzier.
They can only manipulate things that are already there.
Yes, you can move energy around, but the extents of what that mean, they are subject to great interpretation.
Well, consider that they have to follow the rules of thermodynamics.
Yes.
Like,
So-
they can't create or destroy anything.
Mhm.
They can manipulate energy primarily, which, I mean, matter is technically still energy on some level.
Mhm.
But their thing is to take energy from here, twist it up into what they want it to be, and put it over there.
Yes. So, first I guess I'm going to look for good energy sources around. Obviously I know what I'm carrying, but I'd rather tap something local if possible.
The crystal.
There's the crystal upstairs. I'm sure it's got some to spare.
That's pretty potent.
It's got some juice to it. I would like to tap energy from the crystal to redistribute the matter of this wall back into the central wall of the tower, reopening the stairs.
Okay.
Just like shoop, and suck it right back into the wall.
Okay, so you want to transmute it?
Yes. Relocate the mass.
Okay. Okay. This is going to be difficult because you don't know the dynamic or the dimensions of the wall fully.
Nope. I don't know how thick it is.
But it's still possible. Still possible. So
Yeah.
yeah, give me your ability roll. Let's see what you can do.
Yes. It's not bad.
19. All right. So you begin to push with your ability. You're drawing from the crystal upstairs. Everybody around you can see the light coming through the opening from behind you. Dim as you're pulling. And you reach in with your senses, your arcane senses in this particular case, trying to kind of get a hold of it and wrap your mind around what it is exactly that you're working with. And it's like it just goes and goes and goes. It's like it's just a solid block. It's not a wall. It just goes as far as you can sense it. And as you're digging around, from behind all of you as you're watching this happen, the light goes out. Boom.
That's concerning.
Raggy.
Looking back,
Yeah.
there's another solid surface behind you.
Well, I have unfortunate news.
Fuck you, angler.
And it appears we have been canned.
We have been pranked.
How sad.
Forces are manipulating the stone to have essentially infinite mass.
Just because somebody does one nice thing for us does not mean they are the same as a prophecy that everybody else has heard about by now. Doesn't mean that, okay? Like, I hate to say I told you so, but the reason we're here is because we made some poor decisions somewhere along the way. Who knows what that was at this point? Not blaming anyone, but I'm just saying maybe we should rethink.
You made the best decisions.
Oh my god.
This is exactly where I want you to be.
I don't understand your implications. I've gone straight over my head.
Genesis, the Ohm have a saying. More of a thought, really. Every step is a step towards more knowledge, no matter which way.
The Ventrites have a saying too. Fuck around and find out.
Yes, it is important to remember the Oamo are people who do not experience individual death. So,
We're gonna
perhaps take it with a grain of salt.
We're gonna make that canon now, by the way. That is officially an Ventrite saying.
Yes.
We're all made of like individual freedoms and the ability to be accountable for your own like fate, but I mean, when we're in a group together like this, I don't know what we could have done differently, but man, when we don't have an exit now, like we're stuck here.
We may have to take the alternative route.
What? And that's what?
He points at the wall that should go to the outside of the tower.
Okay.
So, I'm going to point out, Wilhelm, if anyone would know this based upon his iconic memory.
We're still reaching deep for the new ones.
That you are not below the dome. So if you breach the wall, there's a wall between you and the ocean.
He's muted, so it's...
Oh, Wilhelm, are you muted?
I wouldn't put a hole in that wall. That's kind of the only thing that's keeping the water out.
Oh, no. Oh, well, there goes option B.
I take my hand off the wall.
So we're fucked? Huh?
The tower, it's circular. Does it look like the passageway would have been taking up all of it, or is there like a hollow chamber in the very center of it?
It's hard to say. No, it doesn't look like the stairs would have, no. They're going around a central core.
Okay. But I'm trying to figure out how wide that central core would have been.
Pretty wide. I mean, it's a big tower. But I will say real quick, as your Wilhelm is very intelligently looking inward, how very spiritual of him. As that voice comes into your head again. It says, "Open the wall, Az. I can protect you. And maybe I can protect your friends too, but let's at least make it worth your while, should we? This could be an incredible bargaining chip for you. Just imagine the leverage you could have with something like this."
Genesis still has that hand on Az's shoulder, like, I can't be here, but I can be here, right?
I love you, buddy.
Yeah, like...
I love you, buddy.
She's standing, like, as closer to Az than to anyone else, and it's just, like, concerned.
So, before we go too much further, I'm gonna cliffhang it here as Az ponders his dilemma.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So we're gonna give Az an entire 2 weeks to decide what to do. Maybe I'll send him some direct messages privately in Discord during that time. Maybe I won't.
What's it to us?
But I want to thank everybody for joining us, especially you guys, Liching Hour for the raid. You guys are amazing. We will certainly repay the favor. Next time I end a stream and see you guys on, we will send our people your way. Those of you who are watching at home who aren't familiar, please check them out. They're an amazing crew. We had a lot of fun with them. Thank you guys for joining us for episode 1 of Echoes in the Abyss, the new chapter of this 3.5-4 year long campaign as it's gearing up towards what I can only imagine will be a incredible finale, I hope.
We're getting there, for sure.
Yes, we are certainly getting there. I've had fun. I hope you guys had fun. We're finally in the Domes of the Shining Eyes. We have been moving here for so long, since forever. And I'm glad that you guys are finally here. And I know it's a little weird so far. I hope it doesn't disappoint. A lot of this is actually not just because of Az's reaching out. There is some planned stuff going on.
I figured.
But I'm having a good time. I hope you guys are. Be sure to tune in Wednesday for Deadlands. Thursday we will begin Billy Zed's new homebrew post-apocalyptic zombie horror great game. I'm so jealous I couldn't get in on it. But we're going to begin that Thursday. We are still recruiting for Blades in the Dark for next month, run by Two Socks. Get in there and get that before the spots are filled up. They're open. Go ahead and apply. It's going to be a really fun game. I might get in on that one myself. We'll see. And then, of course, next Saturday we will return once again to Sigil Confidential as these strands are beginning to make their way from one game to the next. Don't want to miss to see where that goes.
Yeah, potentially. I will say Jacob will be out of town next Saturday.
So please do meet without me. Just maybe keep Jimmy off screen a little bit longer.
That's all right. He's on vacation.
Floating. He's in the ether right now. He's doing stuff.
He's on vacation in New Jersey.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Detroit.
Makes sense.
This is too insulting to either Jersey or Detroit. We'll have to find another place where none of our audience lives to insult.
Ohio.
Oh my god.
Oh, good. You know, how about my home state, because nobody ever goes there. New Mexico. The land of enchantment. But I love you guys. I've had a good time. I really do hope you have too. You guys at home especially. Be sure to join us on our Discord and get in on these new short shot games. We've got a whole lot of charity events coming up, new games coming. The Lich Lore Land, the Lich Wave Legionnaires, our writing prompt thing is still going strong. I love seeing you guys' additions to it. We will be having prizes for those. I know we haven't announced them, but I promise you they're coming. So come join us, have fun. We'll see you there. Good night. I'm gonna find somebody to raid.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.